Who is ready to take back Greater Manchester from big money?
Middle of a heat wave again. Hi everyone, so you might have noticed recently I've gone a little bit political on this channel. Don't worry, it's temporary, kind of. No, what's happening is the country is going through a bit of a political change at the moment. The Mayor of Greater Manchester, where I live, has resigned, Andy Burnham, to become a Member of Parliament here in England and therefore stand for the leadership of the Labour Party and hence the Prime Minister, become Prime Minister. And he's got a lot of backing, he's a popular figure. And a lot of that is based on the fact that Greater Manchester has done pretty well in the past few years with him in his mayoral position. And last week, a couple of weeks ago, sorry, I was invited by the Labour Party to go and speak to their replacement candidate for the mayoral position, councillor Bev Craig, who I met, is a very lovely person. And she's in fact the leader of Manchester City Council at the moment. But she's not the only candidate in this race. So what I wanted to do is speak to a few other candidates because this is my city region. I know a lot about it, but also I live here and I care a lot about it. I care really deeply about it. If there's an opportunity to speak to the future mayor of Greater Manchester, I would love to take that. And so I contacted a few different people, and one of the candidates from a different party that did get back to me was Geraldine Coggins, the Green Party candidate. Now the Greens have been surging recently in the last 12 months under the leadership of Zach Polanski here in England and Wales, and they've really increased their pollings right up there, rivaling the Tories and Labour themselves. So with that momentum in mind, I was really eager to speak to Geraldine and see if that momentum, she really believed that momentum could carry her into the mayoral position here in Greater Manchester. But also, what were her priorities for the position? What did she want to see and what could she do differently? I invited myself along this time and to the manifesto launch of Geraldine in Hume in Manchester, an area I'm incredibly familiar with. I went along to the NIMOS Centre to speak to Geraldine and see if I can get an interview with her without pre-arranging one.
All the north has been neglected. So while politicians build it...
And this election is about us taking back Greater Manchester from big money.
Just at the Green manifesto launch, I'm going to try and see if I can get a word with Geraldine, the candidate. There's quite a lot of people here though, and I'll have to join the queue, I think. At the moment, people are very happy in general with how Greater Manchester is growing as a city region. It's one of the fastest in the country. But of course it's not perfect, and a lot of that wealth, a lot of that growth is really concentrated in Manchester. How much would you prioritise? How do you feel about the rest of Greater Manchester?
Absolutely. One of my top priorities is about rebalancing the way this money is being spent, and even what is spent in the city centre, it's not filtering down to normal people. It's being siphoned off by big developers, by corporate landlords. You know, rents in Manchester itself are taking up 44% of people's income. People in Salford are paying 40%, and in Salford they've seen the biggest drop in affordability of anywhere in the country. So my priority is to spread the opportunities around the whole region. So I'm going to build and create 20,000 genuinely affordable homes. We're going to build 10,000 and we're going to buy, fix up and retrofit another 10,000. And these will all be rented out to people at rents that if you're on housing benefit, you'll be able to afford it. And we're going to create a permanent public asset that people will be able to live in and make their homes in for many, many generations to come. And that is going to bring loads of money back into circulation in the local area. We're going to work with local contractors, local businesses, buy as much of the supply as we can, so that again, we are circulating all that opportunity and all that wealth throughout the city region. And we will be focusing on all the different boroughs, not pouring everything into the city centre.
For so many people across Greater Manchester, life is utterly unaffordable. Rents are spiralling, Their wages aren't going up, but their bills are going up.
People here have had enough. You know, they have seen Labour pouring huge amounts of money into the city centre. They've seen these big luxury flats and executive homes being built while normal people are really struggling to pay their bills, and young people can't find somewhere to move out of home to. And we know as well that people, you know, in the city centre and have had some investment, but in places like Rochdale and Oldham and Wigan and all the places in the outer boroughs, people are feeling they've been left behind, that their high streets are broken and that Labour isn't working for them. And we know that we don't want reforms, money grabbing, divisive politics here.
Tell me about Geraldine. Why do you think she'd make a good mayor for Manchester?
I think if you look at Geraldine's track record and her history, she's a Trafford councillor, so one of the smaller towns in Greater Manchester. So she's been working from a grassroots level, working with her community, working with ordinary people, and she's got that touch that she can relate to the whole of Greater Manchester, not just Manchester. And I think that's one of the things that's been missing in Andy Burnham's mayoral election or his reign as mayor. Is that a lot of wealth and a lot of development has concentrated on Manchester city centre instead of concentrating across the whole of the constituency. So towns like Wigan, towns like Bolton, Rochdale, Oldham, Stockport, Trafford, places like this, these have been left behind. And what we've got to do is, if we're going to lift our communities up, we've got to lift everyone up together.
And of course, as Greater Manchester grows and grows, the connectivity of each of its boroughs will be really important into the future. What can the Green Party do there to help?
So I think, you know, I like what Andy Burnham has done on transport, but we want to go much further and faster on that. And again, everything has been focused on the city centre. To get from A to B at the moment, you need to go into the city centre and back out again. So I'm going to be making buses free for everybody under 22. So we're going to be having a generation of children and young people growing up knowing that getting the bus is the obvious, easy, pleasant default option. And then we're going to be introducing network of really fast express high frequency buses in an orbital route around the outer boroughs. So we're going to start linking up Rochdale, Oldham, Tameside, Stockport, all the way over to Wigan, through Bolton and Bury, and make it so that people can just get around from A to B and everything isn't focused on the city centre.
You know that in the Green Party we are funded by our members, our people who believe in what we are doing.
Our members pay for our campaign, so the only people that we're answerable to is our members. So if you look at our funding, it's £5 a month for membership subscription, and it's that fuels us. So we're not used to having lavish budgets, and we're not having lavish lifestyles. What we're used to is making sure that we make the best use of every penny that we've got.
A lot of people who will be quite happy, like I say, with Labour, maybe thinking of other parties as well. The Greens have got a lot of energy at the moment, nationally and locally, of course, with the election of Hannah Spencer. What is it the Greens can bring that other parties can't? What can you do with that energy?
Yeah, I think our unique superpower is that we are people powered, and we've seen that on the streets of Gorton and Denton in the local elections. And we are funded by our members and people who believe in what we're doing, not by big corporations, not by wealthy individuals, and not by self-interested lobby groups. So all those other candidates, they are all answerable to donors and developers. I'm the only option here who only works for the people of Greater Manchester. So my priorities are people and planet. So I've shaken up the system before and I'm here to do it again.
Lovely. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you so much for reaching out.
Thank you.
I'll
towards the end.
Yes, I'll definitely keep up with the campaign.
Great. And send us the link, we'll share it and everything.
Oh yes, we'll do, yeah. Thank you so much. So there you go, that was the very brief chat I had with Geraldine Coggins, the Green candidate for the mayoral position. And it was, as you can see, it was only, 6 minutes long or something like that, 5 minutes long, mostly because I just turned up and after all the speeches had been made and all the other interviews had happened, I just grabbed her and said, do you mind if we have an interview on camera? And she very graciously, very kindly in fact, gave me a few minutes between two other things that she was doing. Priorities being housing, I think, like I said in the last video, I think that should be. It should be. I think there is a question mark over Labour's record with housing in Greater Manchester. I think the Greens are a bit more precise with that. I think they're a bit more honed in into what people in Manchester need. There was a lot of talk on the stage, and also with me and Geraldine, about other places in Greater Manchester, and that was quite interesting. So the revitalisation of the High Street. So it was really nice to get that question in there about the rest of Greater Manchester, because when you're a resident of Greater Manchester, like I am, you see this narrative that it's doing great. But Manchester city centre is doing great. It's got these high-rise office high-rise towers. They're all shiny. There's lots of green spaces, parks, you know, lots of cafes and coffee shops and nice things, museums. But how much of that wealth is spreading out to the other boroughs, the other 9 boroughs of Greater Manchester, and even the rest of Manchester borough itself, Manchester city itself, you know, down to Wythenshawe, Moss Side, Hume, you know, Cheetham Hill, etc. I could go on. How much of that wealth is actually leaving the boundaries of the city centre? And the answer is not very much. So it was really great to hear her acknowledge that and say they've got a plan for that. Overall, what I'd say is that if you're voting in this election here in Greater Manchester, is that I think a lot of people have the perception that the Green Party haven't got the experience. They've got this, you know, momentum at the moment, and they're doing quite well in the polls, and they're finally getting more exposure in the media, but that they haven't quite got the know-how and they haven't quite got the experience to do that. And I think actually they do. If you look at what their policies have, they get very granular with the details and stuff like that. So yeah, in summary, what I'd say is that it was very reassuring actually to meet somebody like Geraldine, who does have a really good chance of becoming the next mayor of Greater Manchester, in fact. And it's reassuring to meet somebody who is in that position as an insurgent, who could come in kind of from the flank and you know, sweep away the political establishment here in Greater Manchester, and know that that person knows what they're talking about, and also cares. You can tell she kind of cares as well, or she really cares about Greater Manchester. Looking at the manifesto for Greater Manchester and looking and speaking to Geraldine and hearing what her priorities are, I don't think that's going to suddenly, that popularity is going to fade away. They look like they're here to stay, and they also look like they're really challenging the establishment, which is exciting. Whether you agree with it or not, it's exciting. It's good to shake the system up and, yeah, give it a good shake and see what lands. And I think that's good. And I do think there's a veneer here in Greater Manchester, and this, I do talk about this quite a lot on this channel, that Manchester's doing great. And I don't think it quite is. And I'm out and about around Greater Manchester, and I work with a lot of people, and I see a lot of people who are struggling. And I think we need to do better. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching this video. I'll try and get more interviews with other candidates from other parties if I can, if they get back to me. If not, I will see you back in the history stuff, because I've got a lot more history stuff to do. I'm still rounding up the 20th century in the History of Manchester series. I don't know what, I think we're on number 13 next, video number 13, episode 13. So yeah, tune into that. That'll be the next one coming. But anyway, have a lovely rest of your day, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you in the next heat wave. Bye.